Ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening, we thank you so very much. We would like to welcome you to our new show we like to call The Cool Down, where a little bit of AC will do the trick for you.
I'm your host, Andy.
And I am Chase.
And today we were going to talk about my beloved friend here had a trip to Germany. Where is it you went? You passed through Zurich, didn't you?
Well,
I know that's Switzerland, but...
we started out in Austria. Well, we left on my birthday last year, just a little over a year.
Yeah.
But we left on my birthday, and it was a trip from Austria to Germany to Switzerland and then back into Germany. And it was just a 12-day trip, but it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Where'd you guys stay?
Well, we stayed in a lot of different places. We flew into Vienna, Austria, and we stayed there for a couple days. And we just stayed in like a budget hotel they had, which was... It was an interesting...
You got your cops called on you?
Yeah. No. That was in
Vienna?
Zelisberg is where we were staying.
Zelisberg.
No, but we started out in Vienna, Austria. Okay. But we started out in Vienna, and then we kept moving through the north of Austria, if I could get my words right. And then we ended up passing through Salzburg. We only stayed there for a couple hours, just toured a little bit, and then we went from there to southern Germany, in Bavaria, and Neuschwanstein. And we stayed...
Always a fun one to say.
Yeah. And then we stayed in Bavaria for a couple days. We went to Munich as well. And then we came back into Austria, and we stayed in... Innsbruck for a day. Actually, we stayed in a town on the outside of it, but we went to Innsbruck for a day, and then we went into Lucerne, Switzerland. That was really nice and was really chilly, and I liked it.
Well, Switzerland's a beautiful country.
Yeah, it is, and I personally liked Austria's mountains and everything. I think that was probably the best sight for me was. The landscape of Austria.
That's kind of contradictory to like what I would have thought, because Switzerland, I mean, it's surrounded by mountains. It's like like the definition of landlocked.
Yeah.
Well,
the most alpine stuff we did was in Austria, like passing through when we went back through when we were going from Neuschwanstein to Innsbruck.
Yeah.
That was all in a day. And when we had left from Neuschwanstein into Innsbruck, it was basically a giant, like, alpine road. It was, like, the only road around, and we just took that through to Innsbruck, and it was cool because we were, like, our bus would be, like, 5-6 feet away from the cliff, and we'd sit and you could just look down the cliff thousands of feet, and... It was just really cool. Everybody thought it was cool. It was scary, but it was
I was going
to
say, that would scare the absolute crap out of me.
Yeah. But it was fun. And then after Switzerland, Lucerne, we went to Koblenz, Bonn, and then we ended in Cologne.
Okay.
And then... Or no, we ended in Koblenz. We went from Bonn to Cologne and then Koblenz.
And you flew out to Frankfurt?
Yeah, well, we flew out of Frankfurt after we left Koblenz, but we didn't get to really stay in Frankfurt a whole lot. We just went straight to the airport and flew out of there, and it was a long ride home. Going over the Atlantic is definitely a long time.
Yeah, and I'd imagine you're pretty sad too, just because you had to leave all that scenery. I know Germany's like your homeland. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I loved it. I thought the culture over there was great. I thought the food was great. I didn't have any stomach problems while I was over there. And
yeah, you had a lot of ghost craps.
Yeah, which is nice. Yeah, we'll go with that. But
I think you should define what ghost crap is.
Are you sure?
Oh, I think so.
You think we should? Okay.
No, nothing's out of bounds.
Well, there's a couple of terms that I've heard people use it for. I've heard a ghost crap used for when you do number 2 and then it disappears in the toilet. That's one.
How? What?
That's what I've heard.
How does that work?
I don't know. I heard somebody use it.
Disappears. You just
Well,
crap clear
no,
liquid.
it just like it, snakes the drain. That's what I mean. But
Oh, okay, I see.
and then the second term that I have heard it used, which
Yeah,
a
like
kid
the one
there-
that we.
the kid that one of the kids that was on the trip used it for was when you wipe and there's nothing there.
Yeah, and that is
The greatest.
No, it's the best. Like
And
you just wipe and nothing.
I had 12 days of just ghost craps, and it was so nice.
It's actually kind of amazing because I know that German food is it's a lot of Wiener Schnitzel, which can be spicy at times.
Yeah.
And also there's a decent amount of just like it's a lot of acidic elements to it. So I'm kind of surprised that your stomach held up.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, given that problems that both of us have had
Yeah.
in terms of stomach issues.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the food's there. The food that is there is phenomenal. I know in Vienna we had Wiener Schnitzel, of course, because why wouldn't you? And then I personally, when we went to the Schwarzwald, that was really, their food was fantastic. And then I had Black Forest ham and Black Forest cake
Yeah.
in the Black Forest, which is
No,
the
yeah, yeah.
Schwarzwald. And it was just absolutely delicious, even though it had alcohol in it. But guess what? I was
Oh, was
17.
that? Are you talking about the ice cream? Or what?
The Black Forest cake.
Okay. Wow. Okay, because the ice cream had alcohol in it too that you
Yeah.
had.
Well, that was on the
You're
cruise.
just over there getting plastered, aren't
Yeah.
you?
That was the whole goal.
Well, I mean, the school gave them permission or Mr. Antrim, but he said no. Right?
Our school gave Mr. Antrim the permission. Oh well, I guess we're saying names now. My
That's
German
fine. I'm
teacher's
sure he
Mr.
doesn't
Antrim. Well, at the time it wasn't. There was another teacher we had at our high school. Her name was Frau Haus, and they're both great German teachers. Mr. Antrim's actually got a YouTube channel, and he's doing pretty well.
Oh yeah.
But Mr. Antrim, he's the one that set up the trip for the most part, and the school district gave him the go-ahead for us to be able to drink
Yeah.
on the trip. And he decided that he didn't want us to. And, I kind of don't blame him. But, I mean, at the same time, a lot of the kids were like, come on, man. We're 16.
Well, yeah, I mean-
we're 17.
I honestly, I probably would be a little frustrated just because that is so outside of district. I'm not gonna say what district, but that is so outside of our school system's like seeming like values. Because I mean, I guess they're not like totalitarian or anything. That's your word of the day. But still, like I don't know. Yeah, it just surprises the heck out of me. But maybe they saw it as like maybe it's a part of the culture or something, and or not we, because I didn't go, but you guys, they just wanted,
Yeah.
it's part of the culture, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing insanely wrong with that, as long as you don't get, like, I want to try, like, 18 shots of German whiskey.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I know there's a girl that graduated with me, and I guess either I follow her on Instagram or whatever, but I think she's, like, in Italy right now. And I guess,
she's in Italy.
yeah, and
damn.
I guess they did like a class trip to Italy. I think that was one of the things you could sign up for at the beginning of the year. But she had
dang.
like a glass of wine,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, it's okay because it's legal over here." And
Well, I don't know how does the legality of that work out? Because you're still an American citizen, right?
you are, but I mean, being that I don't know, I guess being that you're in a different country, it's okay. Well, I mean, to drink hard liquor like whiskey and stuff in Germany, you have to be 18, but to drink beer
Yeah.
you
Which,
can
I
be
mean,
16.
18, that's still kind of insane compared
I mean,
to
I
the
could do
laws
it.
in America.
I could do it now, anyways.
Yeah.
But no.
I mean, both of it. Okay, so actually, you told me a story about one of the inns that you stayed in. I forget where. I actually think you said it earlier.
Is this the door?
the 911 call?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Well, we were staying in a little town outside of Lucerne, probably about 20-25 minutes outside of Lucerne, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was a decent bus ride into Lucerne. But it was a town called Zelisberg. and probably like, I don't know, 260 people might live in that little village, but it overlooks Lake Lucerne, and it's kind of a wraparound lake, and it's just beautiful scenery. You can look up pictures, but we stayed in a hotel that's actually, after we left and after we had problems with them, it was shut down.
Okay.
It was shut down, and I know that after it had been shut down, Germany and Switzerland were bringing in Syrian refugees, and they used that as a place for like 35 or 40 Syrian men to stay.
Oh god.
And which
that sounds xenophobic of me.
Well,
like me saying, "Oh gosh," but I don't know. Just the fact. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with like taking in refugees. I think we should, but this is kind of branching into the polarizing topics a little bit. But I don't know. There's just something about it. It's like a little shady. Like, oh, I'm staying in a hotel that's being used to house refugees.
Yeah.
Like, I know it doesn't speak about the quality of the hotel whenever you think about it logically, but like obviously it's just a nice, it could be just nice people that run that hotel.
Yeah.
And it's a, classy hotel.
Well, they weren't nice people that ran that hotel.
Okay, actually, yeah, that's true.
But
yeah.
But the thing is they didn't house the refugees until after we left.
Oh, okay.
But when we went there, they had a contract with EF Tours, which is the touring company we went with. And which fantastic touring company. I recommend it to anybody. It's a great way to, be able to travel over there at a decent price, get everything taken care of.
This video is sponsored by EF Tours.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Hey, if you want to.
Yeah. We'd like that. That'd be awesome. Or John Stamos. But anyways, we stayed in a hotel. I don't really want to give the name, even though it's not a hotel anymore and it doesn't really matter. But
oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But we had gotten there. And we got there, I don't know, it was later.
Yeah.
It was getting later. It wasn't dark yet, but you could see outside. It was decent. And we got in, got our keys and everything, went up to our rooms. I changed rooms to be with the couple of friends of mine that were on the trip, even though the kids I was already rooming with, they're nice kids. But another good friend of mine was in another room, and I asked if we could switch, me and another kid, and he said yeah. So we had, after we got into our rooms and everything, we went down to dinner, and it was like a clockwork schedule the whole time, and it was constantly on the run. It was only 12 days.
There's something cool about that,
so.
Like, at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, on the trips that I've been on, and just going to certain camps and stuff like that, summer camps, some of which were very traumatizing, but the ones that I actually enjoyed, it was me
too. Me too, man.
It was like the ones that I actually enjoyed, there was a schedule and like you stuck to it, and it's like, okay, you go here, okay, the next like 12:30 we're going here, and it's very rigid, and there's like there wasn't a whole lot of time where you could just do like whatever you wanted,
like BU.
But it was really fun, honestly, and I think that kind of contributed to as in some weird way it contributed to the memories lasting, I guess. But anyway, keep going.
Well, I mean, we got there, we got our rooms and everything, and then we went down for dinner almost immediately afterwards. And we had dinner, and they basically served us, like Gordman's Fishermen.
Yeah.
They basically served us large chicken nuggets that were cold, that were sliced into pieces, and like into long pieces. And then they told us that was Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh.
And like legitimate Wiener Schnitzel. And then we got a soup that not a whole lot of people liked, but I thought was okay. And then they fed us bread that basically it was like biting on charcoal. So it sucked a lot.
I think that sounds like it's the equivalent of like a foreigner coming over here, and then like one of the first places you eat is McDonald's.
Yeah. Well,
except McDonald's is actually decent.
Yeah,
like,
it's actually good food.
It's not good for you, but like hey, you know what? I'll be the first fatty to to admit it. I go to McDonald's, but if I see a friend there, I hide.
Like Jim Gaffigan.
You know, yeah, just like that. I was trying to steal his joke, but thanks.
Yeah, well.
Take all the credit for that.
Well, no.
But,
well, sorry.
No, yeah, just that feeling of like, oh, especially if it's like a girl, you know. Any
God.
girl.
Oh my God.
Because you
like
and
anybody that's your age.
No, yeah,
like,
and like
McDonald's.
they just because that's why I never went to the McDonald's that was across from our high school.
Yeah.
We call it Gas Donald's because
Yeah.
it's connected to a gas station.
By the way, let me stop you for a second. We're gonna get off topic a lot,
hear you.
and that's perfectly okay. That's the whole goal. This is the cool down. This is the cool down zone where a little bit of AC will do the trick for you.
A little chilly.
A little bit of AC. That's
chilly,
That's the
except-
whole goal here, and then we'll get back into talking about it. But that's okay. That's our whole goal here. We love this.
Yeah.
This is basically all of our conversations ever. Except now we've got viewers joining in with us. Oh God, what the hell's that?
Man, I need some cool down right now. Like anyway though, the room that we are recording in right now is. Oh, it's hot.
AKA
it's
your
very
bedroom?
hot. Oh, I was hoping you didn't say that,
Oh.
but that's all right. But yeah, it's very hot. But anyway, so they give you long slices of what seem to be chicken nugget, and they call it Wiener Schnitzel. So very clearly, it's not authentic.
No, it's not. It's basically, and then they fed us like a soup along with our large chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
they cold chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
It's like you dunk it in your toilet. You put it in the
Flipping raw.
Oh, yeah. It was.
It's raw.
It was not the greatest. I'm not gonna lie, but it was food, I
Gordon
guess.
Ramsay just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, he would have been not happy either. He would have shut the place down.
Yeah.
But we had dinner. We had a soup. Then we had charcoal, and then we had cold chicken nuggets. And then we woke up the next day and we went into Lucerne, and then we came back.
Another good night in Germany.
Yeah, and then we went out the next day again, and we went up to the top of Mount Pilatus, which was beautiful. Actually, well, there was clouds filled everywhere in the sky when we did it, and then it cleared up right as we were going down, but it cleared up enough for me to get some pictures.
Did you do Pilates on Pilatus?
Wow. Good one. You're funny. No.
Oh my gosh.
But we ended up, that was our second day. We came down from Pilatus, and then we packed up all our stuff, and then the next morning we were going to leave for Heidelberg. But one of the problems is we were getting everything on the bus, and everybody was ready to go, and one of the kids thought he forgot his passport.
Oh yeah, you told me about
And
that.
this is the second time on the trip. The first time, there was a girl that I also graduated with that was on the trip, and her dad forgot or thought he forgot his passport, and he was searching everywhere, and he was so scared and nervous, and I felt so sorry for him. But it ended up being in his bag. And
Oh, okay.
they
How did
only-
he not see it in his bag?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Just kind of sucks at looking for
like
things.
searching for your keys in your pocket, and you can't find them, but eventually you do.
That's happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
It has.
I remember you were looking
pretty
for your
sure that-
keys and they were in your hand.
Yeah, true. There you go.
Where are my keys?
Where's my glasses? They're on your face, you idiot. But, and then when we were leaving Lucerne, we were going to Heidelberg. That was the next stop before Bonn. And everybody had gotten on the plane, and one of the kids that's a year younger than I am,
Yeah.
he thought he had left his passport inside, and he went inside and he couldn't find it. And then he came out, and
Wait, so there were two people that thought they didn't have their
the
passports?
dad had done it in Vienna.
Oh, it was
We had
the
already-
dad.
Yes, that was
Oh
the
my.
first one. That was the first one.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then I'm not going to say whose dad.
That'd be good
I
not
can
to,
tell
yeah.
you, but yeah, but the second person
Yeah.
that did it, the guy that's a grade younger than us, but he thought he had left
Was
it in
a
the
grade younger
room.
than us.
Yeah, it was. He had thought he had left it in the room because he couldn't find it, and then he came back and he ended up finding it in his bag too.
Yeah.
But during that time, they went in and checked rooms,
Okay.
and while we were there, there was their door. One of that kid that stayed in that room, his door was faulty,
Yeah.
and I guess they were trying to open the door and it came off on the hinges.
The staff were, or the kids.
The kids, it did it
Oh,
on the
okay, yeah,
kids,
yeah.
and then they had fixed it, and then they told someone on the trip. I think they told our guide, and then after they had done something about it, they're like, oh, but I think it's okay now. So they didn't say anything. And we were getting ready to leave.
Okay.
And the lady was like the lady that owned it, the hotel, her and her husband, she came out to the bus, and I was sitting right by the door with the kid I was rooming with.
Yeah.
And she came up to the door, and she was like, Max, started yelling for our tour guide, and she was like,
She was calling him Max, like she knew him or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like, gehen Sie und ich rufe die Polizei, which like if you go, I'm gonna call the police.
Okay.
So we had to wait, and we were delayed like 2.5 hours, and we sat outside there for 2.5 hours. They had to call a carpenter to come and try to fix the door
While you guys were there.
While we were there, and the carpenter came, the village carpenter, and he came to fix the door, fixed it, and they originally wanted, like, without even having an estimate or anything, the lady's like, I want $800 for the door.
Oh. So,
And
wait, okay, so
this is
800 euros.
Francs. Swiss francs.
Oh, this was in Switzerland?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But,
Sorry.
but it was a door like this.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't anything special. I'm not trying to diss your door, but, it's not anything special.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. But, but they wanted $800 to fix a door like that.
Well, yeah, that's ridiculous.
And
honestly.
the carpenter ended up coming, and then he ended up only charging like $400, which I could have...
Well, I mean, even still, that's like $400. Like, that still seems like... Then again, I guess, like, I don't know. And what's the Swiss franc compared to the U.S.
About
dollar?
$1.
Really?
Yeah.
About equal?
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
But I could have probably spit on the end of the door hinges and then just let it sit there and
some sticky tack
and mold into the wood, and then it'd be okay.
Yeah.
I could have just got some putty for like 50 cents at like an Aldi over there and just put the door together. But no, they charged like $400. Like the carpenter did. There were 4 kids in that room. They all had to cough up $100 each.
Oh, flip.
Yeah.
Dang.
And we ended up leaving, and everybody was kind of kind-hearted about it. They're like, you know what? Let's just enjoy the rest of the trip. Don't let that ruin anything, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the rest of the trip. It was fun, but that was the only real incident we had. Besides, I realized there's a lot of beggars over in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll get up really close to you.
Oh, yeah. Tell them about that one.
We were in Koblenz. We were in Koblenz, and no, we weren't. I'm sorry. We were in Bonn. It was right before we were getting into Bonn, and there was a little town with a
Bonn.
A nice Bonn with a chapel, a really nice chapel they had, and we had gone in there and we were looking around and just looking at a couple little shops and everything. It was really open. It didn't seem like a whole lot of people were there, but it was just a little town. I can't remember what the town was called specifically, but it was right before Bonn.
Just kind of like a small one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we went in, and then we had come out, and there was a guy sitting there, and he was kind of walking around, and he was asking for, he was like, Essen.
Oh, flip. Okay.
Euro, 2 Euro bitte. Essen. It was like, oh, food.
Yeah.
Can I have 2 euros, food? And I gave him a couple. And then one of the girls on the trip, her dad, super nice guy too, and he was like, oh, here's some money, and gave him some money. And
I heard also, not to rag on anyone, domestic or foreign who is in poverty or homeless, but I kind of heard that if you're foreign and you're in a different country, the beggars or people who are on the streets begging or whatever, they can tell, and so they'll target you.
Yeah.
And once again, not to say that they're robbing you, because you don't have to give them money or anything. It's still nice to give them money.
Yeah.
But I've heard that they especially go after foreigners to their country because, for whatever reason, I guess, I don't know if there's some sort of there's more conviction whenever a foreign beggar comes up to you versus one that's in your own country. I have no idea the psychology behind it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, if you like our tour guide, I've shown you a picture of him. You can obviously tell he's European just by the look of him.
Yeah, strong jawline.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Kind of.
Yes. Like, I mean, you can definitely tell he's European, of course, and most of the people over there you can kind of tell. And then when they get to talking, you're like, oh yeah, I don't understand you because you're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
Like, you're definitely European now, but I mean, you know.
But
some people you can most of the time if you go like over to Germany or something. Like if you went over to a country like Greece or something, they'd definitely be able to tell you like, oh, you're a pale white guy. Well, I'm sure you're not from here.
No,
so.
yeah. So this guy's like he's really getting up in your biz, and
well, I mean, he's not really getting up in. Up in my business, but he's getting like pretty. He's not like.
Don't touch my hands.
No, okay. No, but I mean, he was getting pretty close, and he didn't like back down from asking. He just kind of went for it. So I gave him a couple euros or euros as he said it. But you know, that's definitely something we saw. A lot of people didn't usually come up to you. And then I remember a couple people in Lucerne were doing that, but
2 euros pour les enfants, s'il vous plaît, monsieur.
Je te coupe. There are those people. Speaking of foreigners, I work at a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
It's called Castelli's Moonlight, off of 255 in Alton, Illinois. Great restaurant, by the way. If you're ever in the St. Louis metro area, definitely eat there. Great food, but I bus tables there, and yesterday was Wednesday, so I worked yesterday. There were I'm sick and tired of this. There were a French couple, and they were in there, and they were speaking French to each other, and I was like, damn it, I wish you were German, because they brought a big German party of tourists. They do every couple of months in there, and they stop at Castelli's and eat. And I go in there and I'll like chat with people.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I did once. I mean, it's not like
okay, you made it sound like a habitual thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not habitual, but yeah, but it's
Who's the So whenever you brought up the naked beggar, Whenever you brought up,
he was not naked.
No, he wasn't. Whenever you brought up the beggar, I was thinking of the story that you told me about a naked guy.
Oh, we were in Munich.
Yeah,
that was towards the middle of the trip. The early, in between the middle and the beginning. It was right before the middle of the trip. We'll just say that. And we were doing a bike tour. Some kids could either go and walk through Marienplatz, even though we were going to go do that anyways, and walk around like the heart of Munich and Marienplatz.
Yeah.
Or you could go on a bike tour. And our tour guide, Max, recommended we go to... he's like, oh, if you want to go to the bike tour, I'm going, and I'll take you guys there, and we can all do the bike tour together. So I went on the bike tour. And I was the only one out of my friend group that did, because everybody was like, I don't want to ride bikes. Let's just walk, play the
Yeah.
But anyways,
oh my God.
I ended up going on the bike tour, and we were passing through by one of the biggest beer gardens in the world, actually, but it's in downtown Munich. And we were riding through this, the park by it, and I look over to, because public nudity is common and legal over there. Not like super common, like everybody's naked.
Well, yeah.
But
we're just talking like San Francisco.
Yeah, you don't see naked people here because then you get charged as a sex offender.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco, there's been some stuff going on down there. I'll tell you what, depending on what part of San Francisco you're in, you're seeing some weird stuff. It's like Clockwork Orange or
well, yeah.
Kidding.
But when we were riding through the park, it's not common, but it's legal, and you're going to see a naked person around, even in the middle of the streets. There might be somebody naked walking.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's more men.
Then they'll make you feel bad about themselves, just about yourself. Well, good job, Chase. But,
hey, unless they're hot, maybe they're ripped.
Yeah. Well,
I think most people tend to make me feel bad about myself that I see, because I am more overweight than the average person.
Me too.
Well, you have no reason, though.
Oh, I don't want to hear that. But don't. Anyways, we're passing through that park, and I look over, and it looks to be a shirtless guy sitting down on this blanket, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess that's not uncommon here, because I was like, oh, Mr. Andrews said something about that. I guess I really shouldn't worry about it. And I'm going, and we're going around this curve. It's like a track kind of thing. Not a track, but we're going around this curve around the middle of this. It's like a field that he's sitting in.
Yeah.
I guess he's like picnicking. And I look over again, and the dude stands up.
Oh, God.
And I just see his bare ass just right at me. And he does the whole, like, arms up,
Oh, he
stretch
stretches out
everything.
for you?
And then he goes to turn around. No, he goes to turn around, and I'm like, ew, I don't want to see your wanger, okay? Don't want to see the wanger.
Just flopping around.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I could go into stories about skinny dipping in one of our friends' pools.
You?
One of my dad's friends' pools. Well, it was me, my dad, and my brother.
Oh my God.
And the worst part about it, he gave us permission to use it over the summer.
God.
And we took advantage. It was like, we took our clothes off. I was getting, like, butt funk and wiener cheese all throughout that pool, man. It's okay. It's okay. The chlorine takes care of it, hopefully.
I don't need to know about that. But nobody needs to know about that.
Yeah, my brother gets up on the side of the pool. It's an above-ground pool. And so he might kill me for saying this, but that's all right. He doesn't know.
He's not going to listen to this.
I mean, yeah, he won't. But
not a whole lot of people are going to listen. Hopefully, but
he gets up on the side of the pool. It's like this. Like I said, it's an above ground pool, and so there's like a little deck by it, like going around it. And so he gets up on that deck, and he was timid at first. He didn't want to take his pants off, and like this is whenever he's in the pool. But then all of a sudden he just gets up out of the pool, takes his swim trunks off, and literally there are houses. There's a neighborhood right like 200 feet away, like people looking out their windows like, oh, good morning, sunshine, here's the elephant trunk. And he took his swim trunks off and just like, oh, flip. It's like, I was trying to make an elephant noise, but he takes his swim trunks off and just dangling.
Oh, man.
Just release the Kraken, and he stretches out in front of like all the houses or whatever. I don't think anyone was watching, but if they were, they got an eyeful.
Are you saying you pay attention to your brother's wanger?
Well, I had no choice at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Because I looked over and he's just outstretched, and it's like, yeah. And then he jumps in the pool, and my dad and I are both just like, you were the one who didn't want to take your swimming trunks off in the water like 5 minutes ago. And he's like, well, I figured if I'm going to do it, I might as well, go big. And it's hey,
go big or go home.
Good way to live your life, I guess. But, oh my gosh.
Workday.
What were we even talking about?
Germany,
that's right.
See, we're gonna do this a lot.
The naked guy.
That's the spontaneity of this. The spontaneity of this podcast.
Okay.
Just,
But there's places in the U.S. that public nudity is legal. Like, there are nude beaches even in the U.S., right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
You could probably look that up. Look that up on your fancy phone, as my dad would say. You got your fancy phone?
Yeah.
Even though he's got like an Android. Like, hey, look it up on your fancy phone. It's like, your phone's nicer than mine.
So lots of experiences there. From 911 being called to a naked guy, seeing him. Yeah. Didn't expect that. Actually, I don't know. Public nudity, that is just like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I guess like the being free, kind of like body wise in public, I get that, but I don't know why you'd want to be naked in public.
To me, it shouldn't be legal.
I don't want people seeing my wanger.
Yeah, to me, it shouldn't be legal because it's like, I don't know, if like you're walking around with a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
How are you gonna explain that? Like, I personally don't want, we were just going on, it's like I'm gonna set a night on the town. I'm not gonna go on a night on the town
like
with my
Will
kid.
Ferrell?
Yeah, my little Billy, take some more Jello shots.
Dang.
Suck them out of my belly button.
Oh
gosh. Okay, little kids.
Wow.
That's
okay.
all right. Anyway,
I'm so sorry for that. So sorry.
But if I'm walking around with a kid, or with my kid, like a friend, like, whatever, I'm trying to make this sound as non-pedophilic as possible, but really failing. But let's say I'm a parent and I'm walking around with my kid, and they're there with me, and then they see that, it's like, dude, like, what the heck? I didn't, it's my kid. You're pretty much violating my kid's eyes right now. Like, not like, yeah, you're violating my kid's eyes. Granted, they could avert their eyes, but to avert their eyes, they have to see it first,
Well,
and so they see it, and then, it's already happened.
Well, people see it in a different way. Like, you see it one way, and other people are like, "Oh, I'm naked. What's so wrong about that?" Like, I get that, but still, everybody's made it to be. Like, I don't know. Personally, it is hot in this room. By the way, it is mega hot. In this room.
Is.
But I know. Like, if I saw somebody nude in public, I'd probably go, okay, that's weird, because I've never seen that before. I've never seen another person naked besides myself.
No.
So, I guess, my life's over. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's all I think every time I look into the mirror.
Well, yeah. I don't know. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Sometimes you just got to feel the breeze between the knees.
Yeah. I know there's I got plenty of more. I am sick and tired of me just stroking out
go
right
see
now.
a speech pathologist.
Pathologist.
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's, yeah.
I don't want to go too much into detail of my Germany trip, because if I do, I won't stop. But I'll try to throw it in there now and then in our podcast. Like, I'll give you stories, but I don't want to go too much. But we could talk about our Branson trip from sixth grade.
Speaking of, so okay, I really wish I would have gone on that Germany trip, but I didn't have the money at the time. It was like, what was it, like $3,000?
Yeah, it was a little over 3,000.
Yeah.
My parents were generous enough to send me on that. I love them to death, and I don't ever want another birthday present from them ever.
Yeah.
Because that did it. 12 days in Germany made me realize how much I hate everyone here in the United States.
But, so we don't, just given that, I really wish I could have gone. Just because I also like Germany, not as much as this guy. Just because he's taking German, I'm taking French.
Yeah.
Or took French. I'm not, yeah. But, so we don't go on a whole lot of trips together, and that's the other reason I wanted to go. But when we do go on trips together, we destroy.
Yeah.
Like,
we tear it up.
No, yeah. Like, I think, what was it? The last time we went on a trip together was down in Georgia.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That
was the summer before 8th grade.
Yeah, it was. Wait, was it? No.
Yeah. We had
summer before 8th grade?
Yeah. Or summer before freshman year.
There you go.
Sorry.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we went.
Weird
oh my
to think.
God.
Man. That was years ago.
You still have the pictures from that too.
Yeah, on my old phone. Though. It was.
My God. Savannah, Georgia is where we went.
Yeah. Chase's brother has had. Is he still down there?
He hasn't talked to him in probably a good year or two, but yeah, I guess they're still friends if they talk.
But Chase's brother he had a friend down there, and so
his dad had started a business down in Georgia.
Yeah, and so Chase's brother's friend invites him down, and apparently invited Chase down as well. And said that Chase could bring the whole family, and said that Chase could bring like a guest or a friend or something. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Chase asked me, and I was like, Georgia? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I rarely travel outside of the state that I'm in now. Like ever. Like, I think the farthest I've gone, now it's Georgia.
Yeah.
But the farthest I had gone before that was like Tennessee.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Me too at the time.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, we went down to Georgia, and that was one of the most fun experiences of my life.
It was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, and the fact that the dude is just loaded, like, made it all the more better. Like, not to say that, like, that sounds bad, but, like, the dude had a ginormous house.
Well, they were definitely on the wealthier side, and they're great people.
Yeah.
They're great people, super nice, very frugal with their money, and they're just great people overall, and very humble. And they don't have to boast about their wealth, but they're, just.
No, yeah. They're
Overall
very
great people,
they're very humble
really. Yes,
about it.
very.
And if, like, I don't know, if you met them, or at least his dad anyway, like, I didn't talk to, your brother's friend all that much, but I talked to his dad a little bit, and if you met his dad, like, you wouldn't know, like, he doesn't walk around like,
No.
chest out or anything like that, but
No.
oh my gosh, we went fishing on the Atlantic.
Shark fishing.
Yeah, shark fishing. That was
Oh my god.
that was unreal, honestly. That was one of the greatest times of my life, like, just to be able, like, just to say that you went out on the Atlantic Ocean and caught sharks. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, whatever, like, I live next to the ocean, like, catching a shark's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what they told us.
But we live in Illinois, so
No, yeah, like, so it just doesn't happen for us. We're a landlocked state. We're, the nearest body of water is like a small, like, someone spills a bottle of Evian, and, that's that's your water source right there.
From us at least. I mean, you've got like the lakes up by Chicago and everything, but
Well, I mean, yeah, but those are like hours away.
yeah, I mean, you'd have to take like a 3.5, 4 hour trip.
Yeah.
I mean, we live right outside of St. Louis, so
Yeah.
a little bit of a trek.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And I remember the one girl, his sister.
Oh yeah.
We showed her magic tricks.
Oh
Do you
my god.
remember that?
Yeah, I do. It's coming back to me now.
Oh my gosh, I think about that and it is just so cringe. Because we're like, okay, and is this your car? And she's like, oh yeah, good job.
Good job. Now I'm
We're
gonna go
like,
talk to
oh,
the other boys.
please date me.
No,
Oh gosh. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was just.
I was a chubby 8th grader.
Yeah, right.
So
I remember I was wearing those, like, we were going to the pool.
You
and
were
I
in
had to
tube
borrow.
socks?
I was wearing the tube socks and I had to borrow swim trunks.
yeah, our
and it's
other
like
pair of swim trunks.
ripping me. It looked like Reno 911 all
And then,
over.
I'm pretty sure you had that St. Louis hat on too, or you had a St. Louis hat on.
Yeah. But that was the other
hilarious.
thing. That swimming pool was that was awesome.
Didn't you say you like peed in that pool or pooped in the pool or something?
Didn't poop in the pool.
You said you did.
I
Something.
had my pants off in the pool one time,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
2 girls walked in, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, flip!"
That's when I had left because I went to get something.
Yeah, you
didn't
did.
I? Oh
yeah,
my
you
God.
went back to their house, and I was just in the pool alone, because they
Probably
live in a
bad
gated
idea.
community, and gated community, obviously a lot of wealthy people, and so they have a community pool there.
Yeah.
And so we were using the pool, and then Chase gets out and and he's like, I don't know where we got, but he's like, oh, okay, I need to go back and get something real quick. And I was like, okay. And so whenever Chase is gone, I was like, I need a little more freedom right
Oh
now.
my God.
And so I take off my swimming trunks, and I'm enjoying it, because there's just a feeling about, like, no pants or underwear, and you're
No
like
shoes,
in the
no
water.
shirt, no problem.
Shut up. And you're in the water. It's just like freeing, I guess, and it's like a cooling sensation that you didn't feel before.
Well, yeah, being that it's like 95 degrees outside.
No,
right
yeah,
now.
and I also remember I was getting, like, super motivated. Like, we were doing laps in the pool or whatever. It
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
and
It's Navy SEAL training.
yeah, it was only like 30 feet, like, from one end to the other.
Yeah.
But we were, like, swimming back and forth, and I was like, oh man, this is like SEAL training. And I apologize to any veterans that are listening right now, because I know that is not the case now. I was young and stupid. But oh my gosh, it was just such a fun time. And, like, I remember the last night that we were there, we went out for one last fishing trip, like, on the docks.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was more or less a trip. We just went out on the docks, and just cast out some lines there.
Trying to catch some rays. Some
yeah.
stingrays.
Yeah.
Not sun rays, but stingrays.
Shred the gnar.
Oh my God. Yep. I hate my life. said the gnar.
But
I got an arm. Righteous.
But yeah, we went out there one last time and just cast some lines out, and thankfully this is just the perfect ending to like what was already a fantastic trip.
Yeah.
I caught a stingray, and which we'd done that before on the previous excursion out into the Atlantic, but yeah, I caught one last stingray, and it was just fantastic.
Fun times.
Yeah.
We had gone out on the boat. We went once. One was like a full day, and then we went out for a ride, and then we had brought some poles along, and we did a little bit of shark catching, but it was fun. I caught like 3 sharks, and then Cody made fun of you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I started catching sharks like crazy.
Cody's my brother, by the way, so.
Yeah. Because I started catching sharks like crazy. It was honestly fantastic. And you remember that one? You remember whenever? So there were like holes in the boat, like on the side, and you could like stick a pole in or whatever, and like just kind of sit it there while the line was in the water, waiting for
like
something.
stands for the
Yeah.
yeah.
And Cody was like, he looked over at the pole, one of the poles, and he was like, "Man, that pole over there is just getting no love." And like as soon as he said that, like the pole just starts going crazy.
Yeah.
And I forget who jumped on it, but someone jumped on it and they grabbed it and they reeled it in, and it was a shark. And but it was just like as soon as he said that, and he's the one who says I like satanic ritual, like, whereas he's just like,
"Hi, my name's Andy, and I like to talk to sharks in the water.
I catch a lot of sharks because I talk to them in the water." But,
Fun times, man. Fun times.
Oh yeah,
I miss those days. Now life sucks.
No, yeah, we need to go on another one.
Well, I know the other friend of mine that you know, that I don't want to give his name just in case, but he was wanting to go down to Florida.
Oh, okay.
We were going to do that, but I don't know if that's going to happen this summer, depending on how much money I can save up.
Yeah, that's interesting. What? Yeah. I don't know, man. But I think that's where we're gonna leave it for now. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. If you liked it, give us some feedback. Tell us what you thought. Share it with your friends. That is the highest compliment that you can give us, is recommending or sharing this podcast with a friend or on social media. So thank you very much, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Adios.